Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC Matchday Live. It's, of course, Ipswich Town versus Buxton, not the water, the club, in the FA Cup second round. And I'm here joined for our pre-game show of about 12 or so minutes by the one and only Matthew Media Mogul Phillips. How are you, Matt? You all right?
Good, yeah. I'm all right, thank you.
Good, man. Before we get any further into the weeds of the show, Harps wants to know, is there anywhere I can watch the game from overseas? Tell the people at home, Matty, where they can find the media.
Well, the game is the reason we're at 5 o'clock on a Sunday is for the American audience. So it's being streamed on ESPN Plus. And as Heidi said, Martin, in our Discord today, it's actually being streamed on Bet365 because I do believe they've got the FA Cup rights. So if you have at least £5 into the account for Bet365, you can watch the game, albeit without commentary. Now, you could turn that £5 into £5.71, Martin, by putting Ipswich down for a win.
Well, you could, or you could just withdraw it at the end of the game, and you've not lost anything.
So there's two modes to watch it anyway.
There we go. There we go. And Harps, if you'd become a Talking Town fifth stander, you'd be in the Discord and you'd have known the information early doors. You wouldn't be panicking at 10 to 5. There you go. Another benefit of becoming a Talking Town fifth stander. Joe says Paddy Power is free. Paddy Power as well. Look,
Paddy Power, okay. There you go. All bookies.
All
bookies over it. I'd love to. I'll tell you what, mate. I'd love to know where.
Burns and Chaplin start tonight for Billy Don.
Yeah. Burns and Chaplin. Yeah. I was going to say, I'd love to know what the American audience will be for this game. They've probably never heard of it either. Which one is the non-league team?
Yeah. This does smell of a. We've got 2 hours to kill. Who can we put in there that somebody might know?
Well, of course, ESPN are the American rights holders, and they've been quite heavy on the games this weekend. They've had 4 or 5 on today, I think. Started with Ebbsfleet. They've had Bristol Rovers, Boreham Wood. Another one sandwiched in there somewhere, and then we're finishing this extravaganza of FA Cup football. So we will see.
Fair enough. Joe says, "Morning this game with a homemade pizza. Rest in peace, Papa John's."
Yeah.
Well, you know. Trevor says, strong lineup, great, get the game won, bring on the subs. Yeah, let's jump to the lineup. We've got obviously.
Martin's not happy about this, everybody. He thinks the team's too strong.
I think it's nonsense, to be honest with you, if I'm going to be blunt. But here is your lineup in case you've not seen it yet. Now on your screen, or it should be on your screen. Where is it? There it is. Beautiful. It's Walton, Vincent Young, Keogh, Burgess, Leaf, Davis, the man limped off 6 to 8 days ago. Sam Morsey, Mr. Humphreys, I've forgotten his first name again. Wesley Burns, thank you. Connor Chaplin, not Guion Edwards, Carl Edwards.
Gassan
had me. So what are your thoughts on that one then, Matt? Honestly, what are your thoughts on
I'm not surprised they've put a stronger team out due to the fact, as Rich kept saying in the weeks leading up to this game, there's hardly any league games in November. So you need people to be ticking over in a match situation, albeit against the team that's in the Conference North, whatever it's called now, National League North.
Yep.
Really exciting to see Hadmi out because he's, as McKenna said, he's been sparing in his minutes, hasn't he? And then he damaged that bone in his foot or whatever it was.
Yeah, agree with
that. Not really got to see him. And the jury's still out on him, isn't he? Because he's made these kind of cameos, but not really made much impact, which then lends people saying, is this going to be the new Keith Moore? Which means he'll be playing in a World Cup in a few years' time. But in terms of his Ipswich Town career, Keith, didn't really cut it, did he? For whatever reason. So Hadmi is a handful. He gives a different profile, as McKenna likes to say, doesn't he? He causes problems in the box. You've got to imagine he's probably decent in the air. I know Cruncher was impressed with him when we beat Burton at the top of the season. So let's see what he can do against Buxton. He's like, look, you couldn't ask for much more of I wouldn't say easy game, but it's not the cut and thrust of League One. There's no league position riding on it. He could be able to play with a little bit of freedom and show what he can do against, a team that's against the odds made it through to round 2 of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah, fair enough. I've written down, I agree with Hadmi. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to to the team, to the lineup, how he performs. You'd obviously, I'll put my sort of head out here and I'll say I expect a performance against Buxton. You know, if he looks really good, I ain't going to be surprised. I'll be okay. That's how he should look. As for the number of players in today, particularly at home, it's creature comfort. So
we have paid a fee for him, haven't we? We did pay a fee, so he's obviously impressed enough for us to part with some cash.
Yeah, whether you think that's a panic or not.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Yeah. The three names I've written down are Chaplin, Davis, and Morsey. Okay. And I can only do these shows one or two, one way and one way only. And that's honestly, I've got no idea why those three names are on my team sheet this afternoon. Connor Chaplin is my only number 10 now. Marcus Harness is no longer fit. Fleetwood is on Friday. That matters more than Buxton. Leif Davis limped off a week ago. Greg Lee's not ready, in my opinion. I might be wrong, to start a league game on Friday.
He's not featured. He's not even on the bench, is he?
No.
Interesting one.
Which would then make me worry if Leif Davis goes down today with anything. What are we going to be left with?
Yeah.
And Sam Morsey, same reasons really. Got no midfield cover. He's the engine that makes everything tick.
Yeah.
Is this a game I want to be risking my Rolls Royce in? I mean, it's not exactly an F1 race, is it? It's more of a banger race. Let's be honest.
All good points. Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think we're having to cut our cloth accordingly here because of the injuries. I'm sure in an ideal world, McKenna wouldn't have picked any of these people, like you rightly say. You got Ball out, you got Harness out. Greg Lee's coming back from injury. Did okay, I thought, against Portsmouth, but maybe they don't want to risk him playing 2 games on the trot. We all thought Cameron Humphreys wouldn't play 2 games on the trot, but here he is, which probably tells you what the injury situation is like, or the selection is like, who's available. I mean, it's a pretty young bench, isn't it? I see that Alfie Arbin's on there again. I thought he did all right when he came on the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the risk, isn't it? This is what Paul Lambert, your namesake, this is what Lambert didn't like, playing games, which weren't league ones.
I just think it's, well, perhaps it's in the name, I don't know, but I just think it's a risk. I mean, no risk it, no biscuit, as they say.
Yeah, and, you could easily just get as, I suppose the mindset is you could get easily as injured against Fleetwood or wherever it might be as you would in.
Yeah, but that's a league game, Matt. That matters more than the FA Cup. We're not the FA Cup. The furthest we're going to go in the FA Cup, in my opinion, is the 4th round.
There's no, well, even maybe depends who you would draw in the 3rd round, doesn't it? But there's no Kamara in there either.
No.
It's very kid gloves with him at the moment, isn't it? Considering he's had a few minutes now, I wouldn't say like, all right, as Rich rightly said, he's not had really much of a pre-season, has he, this season? But they seem to be using him very sparingly as well. I'd rather like to see him. He could have done an hour today, and then you bring Morsey from the bench or whoever it might be. But listen, McKenna's picked this team for a reason. He obviously feels comfortable with it. We've just got to hope we don't get a repeat of the Harness injury, because that is a real blow. As my heart sank when McKenna said it's not looking good. And we were all going, oh God, he's out for the season. Looks like February now, doesn't it? Although that's the Christmas period and New Year period gone, where all the games come thick and fast, and he's been a pivotal player. But you do run the risk. You do run the risk today, yeah, I do.
You do, and also with the way they sort of really look after players, which is a huge credit to the football club. I always tack on time when they say, "Oh, he's back in the new year." I'm thinking another month. I mean, look at Kamara; he's been back on the grass.
Yeah,
arguably for a month, and he's he's not part of this. It might be unrelated, of course. I don't know, sat here, but just to let Gavin Law know, the bench is Haladki, Edmondson, Wolfenton, Badgie, Armin, Caesarbar, Chihuahua, Ward, and Caden Messi Jackson. Marcus Harness, do you think he gets that sort of injury in training though? That's my real question. Is that a type of injury you would normally expect to happen in training, or is that game time, players competitive? I get
probably the latter, is it not? Probably the latter. Probably his game time injury.
Yeah.
Don't hear very much. It's this meniscus again, isn't it? What Ball's got?
Yeah. Which happened in training, I think, didn't it?
It was in the Charlton game, wasn't it? And it was made worse in the Bracknell one. So it seems to me, it's not often you hear an injury like that come out of training, but I suppose you could do it any old time. I don't really know enough about knees to make a comment, but it's just interesting that 2 similar injuries have come out of 2 matches.
And I suppose, as I'm probably on a moan, let's be honest, Walton playing surprises me a little bit, to be fair.
Again, it's got to be ticking over, I suppose, isn't it? The lack of league action.
He's got 46 league games, Matt.
True. I mean, look, he didn't play against. I did feel like Aladki might play today, or even the other lad. What's his name?
The Rochdale kid. Yeah.
I thought he might get a run out today, but he obviously using it as a warm up for Bolton for Friday, I guess.
Yeah, I've got no complaints with that one. Really, that's out of the four that I've mentioned. That's I'm just surprised because obviously the number 2 normally plays in. I mean, ask Matteo Serini.
Matteo Serini, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how Buxton come out here because, like, you know, it's easy just to dismiss them, isn't it? It's Conference North and they're sitting 16th. But last season they won silverware. They won the Northern Premier League. So they're a team that's used to, you know, standing up and being counted. This would be their cup final. I'm only in a 30,000, albeit it's going to be what 10,000, 11,000 crowd. I would have thought. I hope their fans enjoy the trip. But
it's an incredible show of respect, isn't it? So from us, really, it's an incredible show of respect to which is nice. Obviously, you want to, you know, we have often asked for people to take the cup seriously. It's just that's when we were sitting 12th in the Championship, not when we're desperate to get out of England's third tier. You know, all right. Anyway, one play you expect to be talking about come full time.
I want to see Kane Vincent-Young have another good game because we keep having this debate around whether or not he could fit in with Donatian. People have been saying about Donatian, so it'd be interesting to see how he gets on. And again, it had me show me what you've got. You know, we've got striker options. Look, Ladapo did his calf, didn't he, before the Pompey game? Will be not too seriously. John Jules is out the frame now, so there's a real chance for Ahadme. Let's see if he can take his chance today as a starter.
Okay. All right. Love that. Town 304 says Jem. Carl says Hadme. Want to see him grab a couple. Yeah, absolutely. We're back at full time with the fan reaction show. Live link, live chat. Do get involved with whatever you feel, whatever your thoughts are on the full time whistle. KBY Hadme. I like that. I suppose I want to see a good game from Chaplin, I guess. If he's going to, you know, obviously
he needs a goal, doesn't he? We've been saying that, haven't we? He's sort of drifted. Ever since he got player of the month, he's sort of drifted away a little bit. Yeah, he could do it with a goal.
I agree with that.
A prime Chaplin is someone who's going to really help us. We've had, like you say, without Harness now. We need him to step up, absolutely.
And score prediction then, as we round off the show. 3-0 says Lee Bayliss.
Yeah, I like that. I would agree with Lee, I think. We don't want to embarrass them. I mean, 2 3-0. 3-0. I think 3-0 would be comfortable, I feel. This is Town, though. We'll probably score first, Buxton.
A nice game of football would be good to see. You know, a competitive game. 4-0 says Kiel. Wazza says Norman injury during training is less intense than playing. He's not quite happy about this lineup the same way I'm a little bit.
No, fair enough.
I'm old. I'm used to players resting and, you know, not having to do as much. Lee Bayes, early goal and on the front foot from the off. Norman says 5-0. 4-0 from John. 4-0 from Carl. We're back at full time.
We'll see if you're right.
Yeah, we'll see if we're right. We'll see you at full time. Full time whistle. Get involved. Live link, live chat. And we'll catch you then.
See you then.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I